that you didn't know. So of course the season is over and it's that time of the year, right? We did this last season, so I'm going to tell you 100 very interesting facts about the season. A lot of records were broken, some good, some bad, so I'm going to tell you all about those in this video. Before we do though get into that, I do just want to say that I actually forgot about this, but with the season over, we had an FPL league which we started at the start of the season, and I wanted to give a shout out to the winner, who was Yuri. So well done to Yuri. As you can see, he finished top of the FFA Tingle Premier League, only by 10 points ahead of Josh in second, so well done to him. Thank you as well to everyone who played. We had over 100 people in the league, which is absolutely fantastic. If you're wondering where I finished, I believe I finished 34th, so not bad. And also shout out to Matthew, who won the cup as well. But yeah, thank you to everyone who played FPL this season. Congratulations to Yuri for winning. And yeah, without further ado, let's just get into this video. So the way I've done it is we've gone from each month, August to May, so there's going to be facts covering each month, so it's almost like a time travel look back at the season, as we'll get facts that cover all of the big talking points from this season. Fact number 1. On match day 1 of the 24-25 season, Ali Al-Hamadi made history as the first ever Iraqi-born player to feature in a Premier League match. Fact number 2. Thanks to his goal and assist against Ipswich, Mohamed Salah became the player with both the most goals and most goal involvements on matchday 1 in Premier League history, with 9 goals and 5 assists. Fact number 3. With his appearance against Everton on matchday 1, James Milner broke the record for playing in the most different Premier League campaigns, playing in his 23rd Premier League season. That is ridiculous, by the way, 23 seasons in the Premier League. Fair play, Milner. Fact number 4. At the age of 39, against Brighton, Everton's Ashley Young became the oldest player to be sent off in a Premier League match. Fact number 5. Chelsea boss Enzo Maresca became the first manager in Premier League history to see his team score 6 goals in his first away game, after they scored 6 against Wolves. Fact number 6. With his treble versus Wolves, Noni Madueke became the 23rd different player to score a Premier League hat-trick for Chelsea, meaning the Blues have had more unique hat-trick scorers than any other side in Premier League history, with 23. I should also say, I forgot to say this at the start, but I've got these facts from Opta, so yeah, don't shoot the messenger here. Fact number 7. Everton were leading Bournemouth by 2 goals until the 87th minutes, before losing 3-2. It is the latest a team has ever been 2+ goals ahead in a game they've gone on to lose in Premier League history. Fact number 8. Manchester City's Erling Haaland scored 7 goals in his first 3 games of the season, any other player over the opening 3 matches of a Premier League season. Damn, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot that Haaland popped off at the season like that. 7 goals in 3 games, that is ridiculous. Okay, let's move on to September now. With fact number 9. Arne Slot became just the 3rd manager to win each of his first 3 Premier League games without conceding a goal, after Sven-Goran Eriksson and Jose Mourinho. Fact number 10. With a 1-0 win at Tottenham, Arsenal won 6 consecutive Premier League away games for the first time since 2013, and 3 successive North London derbies away for the first time since 1988. Fact number 11. Bournemouth's game with Chelsea on the 14th of September produced 14 yellow cards, the most ever in a single Premier League match. Fact number 12. West Ham began a league campaign with 3 consecutive home defeats for the first time in the club's history. Fact number 13. Against Arsenal, Erling Haaland became the first player in Premier League history to reach 10 goals in as few as 5 games from the start of a season. Wow. Yeah, I really did forget 10 goals in his first 5 games Haaland got this season. That is ridiculous. The fall-off was crazy though. Fact number 14. Manchester City's win over Brentford was a 51st unbeaten Premier League game for Rodri, who became just the 2nd player to go more than 50 games unbeaten, after Sol Campbell. Again, I also forgot that Manchester City actually started this season very well. They started on fire, but quickly fell apart. Fact number 15. Arsenal's Bukayo Saka became the 2nd player in Premier League history to provide an assist in each of the team's first 5 games of a season, after Thierry Henry. Fact number 16. In his 160th Premier League appearance, Manchester United's Bruno Fernandes received his first ever red cards in their defeat to Tottenham. He was the first Man United captain sent off at Old Trafford since Wayne Rooney in 2014. Fact number 17. With his 4 goals versus Brighton, Cole Palmer became the first player in Premier League history to score 4 goals before half-time in a single match. And he also became the 2nd ever Chelsea player to score 4 goals in 2 different Premier League games. Again, I just completely forgot that happened this season. 4 goals in 1 half, that is ridiculous. Fact number 18. Brian Mbeumo's strike after 38 seconds against West Ham in September saw Brentford become the first team in Premier League history to score in the opening minute in 3 consecutive games, after they scored in the opening minute versus Spurs and Manchester City. Yeah, again, I just completely forgot about that. Brentford's weird kickoff glitch, that was crazy. Right, let's move on to October. And fact number 7 consecutive home appearances in all competitions since Robin van Persie. Fact number 21. In their 2-1 win at Wolves, Manchester City's Rico Lewis became the first teenager to start 25 league matches under Pep Guardiola in his entire managerial career. Fact number 22. Southampton's 3-2 loss to Leicester stretched their run without a Premier League win to 21 games, their outright longest winless streak in top flight history. Fact number 23. There were 7 yellow cards shown in the first half between Aston Villa and Bournemouth. No Premier League game has ever seen more in the first 45 minutes. Damn, Bournemouth loved a scrap this season, didn't they? Because that earlier stat was they had the most cards in a Premier League game against Chelsea, and now most in one half against Villa. Fact number 24. Brentford's 5-3 victory over Wolverhampton in October was the first Premier League match to see 8 goal scorers of a different nationality. Those being Ireland, Cameroon, Portugal, Denmark, Jamaica, Brazil, Norway, and Algeria. Some random countries there as well. We move on to November with fact number 25. Bournemouth's Justin Cliver became the first player in Premier League history to score a hat-trick of penalties in a match, with teammate Evan Nilsson also the first to win 3 penalties in the same match. Fact number 26. Manchester City became the first reigning English top-flight champions to lose 5 games in a row in all competitions since Chelsea in 1956. Fact number 27. Manchester United picked up just 12 points in their first 10 Premier League games, their lowest at that stage of a season since 1986. Fact number 28. Arsenal's victory against Nottingham Forest was their 2000th in English top flight, just the second side to reach this milestone after Liverpool. Fact number 29. At the age of 17, Ethan Nwaneri became Arsenal's second youngest Premier League goalscorer ever, behind only Cesc Fabregas. Fact number 30. Manchester City's 4-0 defeat to Spurs was their biggest home loss since February 2003, and Pep Guardiola's joint biggest home loss in his career. Fact number 31. Marcus Rashford scored 81 seconds into Ruben Amorim's first game in charge, with Amorim the second permanent manager to see its side score in the opening 2 minutes of his first ever game. The other one was actually David Moyes at Everton in 2002. was not a sign of things to come. Fact number 32. Arsenal leading West Ham 5-2 at half time was just the fourth match in Premier League history to see as many as 7 goals scored in the first half of a game. Okay, let's move on to December now with fact number 33. Thanks to a 2-0 loss at Liverpool, Manchester City lost 4 consecutive Premier League matches for the first time since August 2008. It was the first time in Pep Guardiola's career that he had lost 4 consecutive league matches. Fact number 34. Ruud van Nistelrooy became the first manager ever to win consecutive Premier League games that were for and against his side. He won 3-0 against Leicester when he was in charge as interim for Man United, and then won 3-1 with Leicester vs West Ham. Fact number 35. Ashley Young, at 39 years old, became the oldest player to reach the 50-goal landmark in Premier League history, and the oldest player to score a direct free kick. Fact number 36. Tom Kenny scored away from home in the Premier League for the first time since March 2010, with this being the longest ever gap between a player scoring in away matches, with it being a 14-year gap. That is crazy, by the way. Fact number 37. At Newcastle, Mohamed Salah both scored and assisted in the same Premier League game for the 37th time, overtaking Wayne Rooney as the player to have done so most often. Fact number 38. Chris Wood became Nottingham Forest's all-time leading Premier League top goal scorer. That also made him one of only 2 players to be the top scorer for 2 different sides. Burnley also, along with Alan Shearer, who is the top scorer for Blackburn and Newcastle in the Premier League. Fact number 39. With his Penenga penalty versus Spurs, Cole Palmer scored all 12 of his penalties in the Premier League, the most any player has taken in the competition without missing, surpassing Yaya Toure, although he did miss his next one. Fact number 40. Manchester City were leading until the 88th minute against Manchester United, but ended up losing 2-1. It is the latest into a game that the reigning champions have led and gone on to lose. Fact number 41. After his penalty versus Manchester City, Bruno Fernandes has scored 21 penalties in the Premier League for Manchester United, more than any other player for the club, surpassing Ruud van Nistelrooy. Fact number 42. At Southampton, Tottenham scored 5 goals in the first half of a Premier League match for the first ever time. Fact number 43. Newcastle won 3 consecutive Premier League games first time. Fact number 44. Manchester United were 13th on Christmas Day, their lowest position on the 25th since 1986. Fact number 45. By Christmas, Mohamed Salah had 15 goals and 11 assists in the Premier League, becoming the first player in Premier League history to hit double figures for goals and assists before Christmas. Fact number 46. Tottenham lost a Premier League game on Boxing Day for the first time since 2003, ending their 16-game unbeaten run on the 26th. Fact number 47. Arne Slot won his 20th game in 24 matches in charge of Liverpool in all competitions on the 19th of December, the fastest any manager has reached 20 wins in the Premier League era. Fact number 48. Manchester United lost 6 games in all competitions in December, their most losses in a single month since 1930. They also conceded 18 goals in December, their most in a single month since March 1964. Okay, we move on to January now with fact number 49. Sean Dyche was sacked as Everton manager in January. Across Sean Dyche's final 10 games in charge of Everton, the only player to score more than once for them was Craig Dawson, who scored 2 own goals whilst playing for Wolves against Everton. That is a ludicrous stats. That is absolutely diabolical. Okay, fact number 50. We are at the halfway point now, and fact number 50 is Alexander Isak became the 4th player in Premier League history to score in 8 consecutive games, after Ruud van Nistelrooy, Jamie Vardy and Daniel Sturridge. Fact number 51. With 3 goals and an assist against Newcastle, Justin Cliver became the first Bournemouth player to be involved in as many as 4 goals in a single match. He also became the 7th player to score multiple hat-tricks away from home in a single season. Fact number 52. Against Nottingham Forest, Dango Atara became the first player from Burkina Faso to score a hat-trick in the Premier League. Fact number 53. Manchester City's Gusanov was booked just 4 minutes into his Premier League debut, the earliest yellow card for a player on their first appearance since Lee Peltier for Cardiff in 2018. Yeah, I completely forgot about that absolutely disastrous debut against Chelsea for the kids. Fact number 54. Tottenham's defeat against Leicester was the first time since 1912 that they had lost against a team on a 7-game losing streak. Moving on to February, and fact number 55. Nottingham Forest's 7-0 victory against Brighton was their biggest league victory since 1991, and Brighton's biggest loss since 1958. Again, I completely forgot that happened. 7-0. Wow. Fact number 56. Abdoulaye Doucouré's opener for Everton after 10 seconds against Leicester was the fourth fastest goal scored in Premier League history and the fastest ever goal scored by a home player. Fact number 57. Following his assist for Manchester City's opener against Newcastle, Ederson has now provided the outright most assists of any goalkeeper in Premier League history with 6. While he also became the first keeper to provide 3 assists in a single season. Fact number 58. Miles Lewis-Skelly was sent off for the second time in the Premier League, although his first was eventually overturned. He became the third teenager, though, to be sent off twice in the Premier League, and the first to do so before turning 19. Fact number 59. West Ham boss Graham Potter became the second manager to beat Arsenal at the Emirates with 3 different clubs, beating them with Ostersund's and Brighton and West Ham, after only Carlo Ancelotti, who did it with Chelsea, Everton and Bayern Munich. Fact number 60. Liverpool had just 33% possession in their 2-0 win over Manchester City, their lowest in a Premier League victory on record. Fact number 61. With a goal and an assist in the game versus Manchester City, Mohamed Salah became the first player in Premier League history to score and assist in both games versus the reigning champions. I mean, we've got so many Salah fans, it's crazy. What a record-breaking season it's been. Fact number 62. After their 2-0 loss to Crystal Palace, Ruben Amorim became the quickest Manchester United manager to lose 5 Premier League home games, losing 5 of his first 7 games at Old Trafford. Fact number 63. West Ham 2, Leicester 0 was the first ever Premier League game to see 3 players play on their birthday, those being Thomas Soucek, Alphonse Areola and Boubacar Samari. Fact number 64. Liverpool didn't attempt a single shot in the second half against Wolves, the first time on record that the Reds failed to register a shot in a half of Premier League football at Anfield. Fact number 65. With their win at Fulham, Crystal Palace won 4 consecutive Premier League away games for the first ever time, while it's also the first time they have ever won 4 consecutive away league games without conceding. Fact number 66. Against Tottenham, Erling Haaland became just the second player to score 20+ goals in each of his first 3 Premier League seasons, after Ruud van Nistelrooy. Okay, let's move on to March with fact number 67. Erling Haaland's opener for Manchester City against Brighton was his 100th goal involvement lost his 94th game. It is the fastest any player has reached this milestone. Fact number 68. Ipswich failed to win any of their first 9 league games from the start of a calendar year for the first time in their history. Fact number 69. With a 3-0 defeat to Manchester United, Leicester became the first team in English top-flight history to lose 7 home games without failing to score in each. Fact number 70. Southampton manager Ivan Juric lost 10 of his first 11 Premier League games, with only Mick McCarthy reaching 10 losses in fewer games. Okay, now we move on to April, and fact number 71. Against Brighton, Crystal Palace became the first team in Premier League history to win a home game, having received 2 red cards. Fact number 72. Southampton set a new record for the earliest relegation in terms of matches remaining, as their return to the Championship was confirmed with 7 games of the season left. Fact number 73. Mark Gay scored an own goal in both games against Newcastle this season. Just the second time a player has netted one home and away against the same opponents in a single season, after Jamie Carragher versus Tottenham in 1998. Fact number 74. Pedro Neto's goal in the 93rd minute versus Fulham was Chelsea's latest winning goal in a Premier League London derby on record. Fact number 75. After losing to Wolves, Leicester conceded first in 30 of their Premier League games this season, the most ever by a side in a 38-game campaign. Fact number 76. Newcastle secured their first league double over Manchester United since 1930 with a 4-0 win, while they scored 4 goals in a game against Man United in the Premier League for the first time since 2001. Fact number 77. Pablo Sarabia became just the second ever visiting player to score a winning goal via a direct free kick against Manchester United, after Danny Murphy in December 2000s. Fact number 78. After their loss to Liverpool, Leicester became the first team in top-flight history to go 9 consecutive home league games without scoring. Fact number 79. Trent Alexander-Arnold's winner for Liverpool versus Leicester was the 23rd goal of his career, yet the first goal that wasn't scored with his right foot. Fact number 80. Leicester City's Jeremy Monga, aged 15 and 271 days, became the second youngest player in Premier League history, behind only Ethan Waneri. Fact number 81. Timed at 85 seconds, Ryan Aitnery's opener against Tottenham was Wolves' quickest ever goal in the Premier League. Fact number 82. For the first time in Premier history, all relegated clubs were confirmed with as many as 4 games remaining. Fact number 83. Liverpool's Arne Slot became the 5th manager to win the Premier League in their first season, after Jose Mourinho, Carlo Ancelotti, Manuel Pellegrini and Antonio Conte. Okay, and finally we move on to May, with fact number 84. With an average age of 22 years and 270 days, Man United's starting 11 versus Brentford was the 3rd youngest any side has ever named for a Premier League match. Fact number 85. With a 0-0 draw at Southampton, Manchester City failed to defeat a side at the bottom of the table in the Premier League for the first time since 2015. Fact number 86. At Bournemouth, Ollie Watkins scored his 75th Premier League goal for Aston Villa, overtaking Gabby Abonglaw to become their highest ever goal scorer in the Premier League. Fact number 87. There were 21 cards issued in the 2 meetings between Bournemouth and Aston Villa this season, the most in a fixture in a single campaign. Fact number 88. After Harry Wilson's goal versus Brentford, through Rodrigo Muniz and Harry Wilson, Fulham are the first side to see 2 players score 5+ goals as a substitute in the same season. Fact number 89. Tottenham lost 22 league games this season, the most ever by a team that avoided relegation in a 38-game Premier League season. And fact number 90. Liverpool became just the 3rd side in Premier League history to score in 100% of their away games, after both Arsenal and Manchester United. Fact number 91. As well as now levelling them for total top flight titles, Liverpool finished the Premier League season at 42 points ahead of Manchester United, the biggest ever gap in points between the 2 sides at the end of a top flight campaign. Fact number 92. Fulham vs Manchester City was only the 3rd game in Premier League history to see no English player in either of the starting 11s. Fact number 93. Mohamed Salah's goal on the final day against Crystal Palace saw him reach 47 goal involvements in the Premier League. This equalled the all-time season record, matching Andy Cole for Newcastle and Alan Shearer for Blackburn. Fact number 94. The average age of Chelsea's starting 11 in the Premier League this season was 24 years and 36 days, the youngest ever by a team in a season. Fact number 95. Arsenal's top scorer in the Premier League this season was Kai Havertz with 9 goals. It is the first time since 1923 the Gunners haven't had a player score 10+ league goals. That is shocking. Fact number 96. Liverpool became the first team in Premier League history to not win any of their next 4 games after being confirmed as champions. Fact number 97. Nottingham Forest's 19 wins this season are the joint most by a team to not finish in the top 6, along with Manchester United in 13 2,420 minutes. Very, very impressive. Fact number 99. Arsenal dropped 21 points from winning positions, which is their joint most in a single Premier League campaign. They also dropped 21 points en route to an 8th place finish in 1920. And finally, fact number 100. Remove results against the relegated clubs, and Manchester United would sit 19th with a measly haul of 23 points from a possible 87. I think that's a beautiful way to end this video. But there we go, those were 100 interesting facts about the Premier League this season. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video.